Hello and thank you for joining me. You are watching Esther from Stampin Style Creations, and I'm pleased that you have come to join me for my attempt for no line watercolouring. So I'm using the Stamparatus to position the stamps from the Free as a Bird stamp set. It's a great way just to stamp all in one go, and I'm using Sahara Sand. After testing this colour out, I realised it was too strong, so I decided to just stamp it again using the ink that was left over on the stamps, and I was much happier with the results. I'm using the Stampin' Up watercolour pencils and using a reference off the internet to help me colour in the blue tit using the colours. So going in with Daffodil Light for the chest and using Pacific Point for the cap. And then just carefully going in with the detail with the black pencil, using the grey for the beak, and then actually mixing the colours of Old Olive and Bermuda Bay, because you can blend these colours together to create another colour. So this seemed to be the perfect match for what I was after. Then going in with Pacific Point for the rest of the wings. I'm not colouring in completely because once I bring in my Aqua Pen I know that that will spread the colour around. Starting with the lightest colour first, and then just wiping my brush off in between those applications. Go ahead and colour all the other elements in using Melon Mambo just for the edging of the blossom and Old Olive for the leaves. I go ahead and I fussy cut these out. And using the matching dies with the set, these are the Stitched Nested Labels dies, and this one measures about 4 7/8, which is I think the second biggest in the set. This Framelit set cuts out a frame, leaves the stitched frame, and cuts out a die from the centre as well. So I'm just going in with Bermuda Bay pencil just to lay down a bit of colour and go around the edging to create a border. Bring in my Aqua Pen again just to merge those colours together. As you can see, you've got the denser colour on the edge. I'm bringing in the Subtles embossing folder. It's a dynamic one, a 3D embossing folder, so it gives a lovely impression of linen. I've run that through the Big Shot machine, and then I'm laying down the elements onto the shape. Change my mind, I can have it this way around. During this process I couldn't decide which way around I wanted it, and I have a fiddle around as to which way up I wanted it to go. I think I was finally happy with this, so I went with this. I knew I wanted to add on some of this pretty lace, and then I've changed my mind again. And I didn't know whether I was going to incorporate the leftover paper. I'm using the Shimmer White paper because this is great for watercolouring. I bring on a layer of Pool Party because it eventually will go onto a card. I think actually no, it looks better without the frame, so I just take that away and rearrange again. I'm using the leaf in the set because I find the background's a bit bare and needs something more to it. So I'm doing a like for like colour and using Pool Party, using a stencil just to help me know where to lay down the leaves. I then cut a larger die to frame that other die, And the piece of ribbon I had was a bit too long because it was for the die being horizontal, so I cut down the ribbon. Using just a bit of tear and tape, and I cut the tear and tape in half. I just wanted a tiny strip to set against the ribbon so that that would just sit neatly on the paper without showing through too much. And then I decided to lob off the bottom of the bird. I held on to that just in case I needed it to stick down. I'm using a mixture of Tombow and used just a dimensional to add a bit of dimension to the bird. And then for the flowers, I wanted those to stand out a bit, so I've used the bottom of my Aqua Pen, pushing it against the piercing mat, and it gives a really nice 3D look. I'm using glue dots for this because it helps to really get to the centre of the little elements, and you can stick them straight down. After I put together, I just wasn't happy with those 3 flowers by themselves, so I decided to go in again with some more leaves and fussy cut those and colour them in. I thought, oh, actually the bottom half needs bulking out a bit more. What if I put the leaves down at the bottom? So again, changing my mind, added all the foliage on the bottom and the blossoms, and I was much happier with the way this looked. Yes, it's fiddly doing all the fussy cutting, but I think it was worth it in the end. Next, I take one of the smaller dies and make sure it fits the sentiment that I want. And I'm using the sentiment from the set, Thanks for Being You. Just to help incorporate this, again, I go around the border of the die with my Bermuda Bay and then using the Aqua Pen to merge that to match the rest of the card. Using the ends of the sticky dimensionals, they're great to use up for these kind of projects, and I've used that to stick down onto my card, and there's a complete design. I hope you've enjoyed watching me. Do let me know if you've tried no line watercolouring, I'd love to know, and let me know what you think about my card. Do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for further videos. Thank you so much for watching, have a good day.